So further to our previous BMAT video, we have a video on BMAT section 1, as people might be starting to think about the BMAT now that UCAT season is almost over. How this video is going to work is we're going to first detail some ideas on how to tackle questions in section 1 before showing how we're going to do it ourselves.
So BMAT section 1 has two main types of questions. One is critical thinking and the other is problem solving. And critical thinking involves you being given a passage and then 5 options about the passage. So maybe which of the following best expresses the main conclusion, which of the following can be drawn as a conclusion, which of the following is a flaw, which of the following is an assumption, which will strengthen, weaken the argument, etc. So things to do with like critical thinking, arguments, things like that. And the other type, problem solving, they're just using your everyday logical thinking skills to solve sort of spatial reasoning, numerical reasoning, abstract reasoning problems, things like that. So it's all testing your kind of thinking skills.
And are there like multiple questions per passage, or
it's always just one passage, one question?
And marking to the dataset questions, or they give like a massive table and then 4 questions on that.
So now those questions are taken out. It used to be 35 questions in an hour, and now it's 32 questions in an hour. 16 of them critical thinking, 16 of them problem solving. So our first and main tip would be to do as much practice as possible, get as much exposure to different types of questions. This works especially well for the critical thinking questions, where you get similar ideas coming up again and again. But with problem solving, questions can be a bit more random, but it's still worth preparing with a wide range of questions so you've had as much exposure as possible. And to do that, you can use TSA papers, which are pretty much the same sort of format, just a bit longer, and also the IMAT papers, which work really well as well. We'll link both down below.
So one sort of exam technique in section 1 is to actually read the question first and then the passage. Because it's one passage per question, you should look at the question first, look at the key terms of the question before scanning the passage as quick as possible. Because again, as with verbal reasoning, time pressure is the main reason why people fail.
And also beware of the wording of a question. So they can sometimes trip you up, especially in the problem solving questions. Look out for sort of conditions, nuances that can change how you approach the question and change the answer potentially.
So this is similar to what I said before about speed, but this time the problem solving questions. So you can use strategies such as eyeballing, where you actually look at the data and you sort of like guess in terms of the numbers. So you don't actually like work it out, but you just look at the numbers, look at the size of the numbers, and do like a rough calculation in your head to estimate the answer. So these sort of skills are similar to QR, what you've done in the UCAT. So if you've done the UCAT and QR, it should be a bit similar, although the problems tend to be slightly harder.
And the last point is to use the process of elimination to help you, particularly in more obscure questions. Maybe there's some obscure critical thinking questions where the answer is kind of in between several options. You eliminate the ones that are wrong, and then that gives you a higher chance of getting the right answer. Now we'll have a go at some BMAT questions, and this will be taken from the 2013 section 1 paper. So number 1 is a problem solving question. So there's 3 operators, exactly 2 being on duty any day. Bob works for a maximum of 3 days a week. None of the officers work for 4 consecutive days a week. So we're trying to work out which days Carla will work. So since Carla doesn't work today, Bob must be working today on Monday, and Amy as well. But Bob works for a maximum of 3 days a week, so he doesn't work there.
Yeah, and doesn't work there either.
So these 2 work these 2 days, and no one works for 4 consecutive days a week. So that means that can't be.
Yeah.
And so it has to be maybe there, and then that.
So that's cross, that's tick.
Yeah. So Bob works for 3 days, negotiators work for 4 consecutive days, and every day there's 2 operators. So that means Carla works on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
I'll have a go at those long questions. Okay, so which one of the following is a conclusion that can be drawn from the above passage? Okay, so these questions are annoying because it means I have to skim the whole passage. Great. So new criteria for the boundless hospital zone. Goldilocks zone, okay. The new criteria make many planets look too hot for liquid water. Okay. One of these most habitable. Okay. Kepler 2, which is surprisingly Earth, which by the old criteria used to be in the middle of our sun's habitable zone, now close to a warm age. So it seems almost too hot. So this criteria is sort of making planets seem almost too hot. Okay. Of course, we knew the Earth is robustly life-friendly, mismatch probably. The mismatch is probably because neither set of the criteria accounts for clouds, which reflect sunlight from the Earth. Okay. It is not possible for life to exist. That's a very strong word. Not possible. I'll move on. Many more planets are habitable than cosmologists previously thought. I don't really say anything about that. The criteria cannot give an accurate judgment as to whether a planet is habitable. Well, it says that neither criteria sets for clouds. Probably, if Kepler 2b clouds, it would be possible. Well, it doesn't necessarily say that. So I'd say it's C.
Okay, so we have another problem-solving question now. You have 4 grandchildren, their birthdays are on those days of the year respectively, except in leap years. So which 2 have their birthdays on the same day of the week? So that means you have to look for 2 numbers that are like a multiple of 7 days apart.
Yeah.
So 128 to 182, 128 to 218, that's 90. That, in fact, let me write it out so it's easy for you guys to see. So, this to that is 54.
Yeah.
This to that is 20.
Are you sure about that?
36.
6.
And that to that is
63.
63. That is a multiple of 7, which means A and T.
Don't call out the names. You're A and you're T.
Yep. They are robots. Okay. Let's check that none of the others add up to give a multiple of 7. So that's 90. That's 99. And if you add all of these up, so 99 plus 54 is 153, which is not multiple of 7. So I think they're good.
Yeah, that's right. Why is it always me with these questions, man? It's just like, okay. It seems like which of the following is the best expression of the main conclusion of the argument? Great. Okay, so I have to skim read it and have a look at the last sentence. What's that? It seems that no matter what is connection between eating too much and gaining weight, we're looking for a simple way to cheat ability and eat more than we need. You don't understand. Okay. Do you know the body burn calories in relation to the physical activity? Yeah. Vehicles. Therefore, the secret to losing weight is plain and simple. Do more and or eat less. Our bodies are like vehicles. It does say about vehicles there, but I don't know if it's the main conclusion. So for these questions, you kind of have to use the, what's it called, elimination method. We do not understand everything about the way in calories are which used by our body. Potentially, but this is the main conclusion. Greater levels of activity and lower calorie consumption are the keys to weight loss. Well, that's probably right, because we get the last sentence, but I'm looking at the other options. People burn calories at different rates. No. Physical is the only way to burn a calorie. No, so it's C.
Yep. So it also says therefore, so it's kind of introducing the conclusion. Okay, I have another problem solving question to do. 240 rubbish on the sale. They're £12 each. Disappointed we sold less than a quarter of them. Decided. So all together. So less than a quarter means less than 60. Reduce the price by 25%. So now it's £9. So took £342 more than the previous day. So let's say you sold X on the first day and for £12 each, and you sold 9 times 2x. You sold twice as many. So that's 18x minus 12x, so there's 6x, which equals 342. And so x is equal to, Q should your mental calculator.
57.
Oh yeah, 57. 57. So 57 is how many you sold in the first day.
So you do that times 3.
You sold 100.
So 171.
171. D.
Hey, okay, you usually do this one. I can't involve it.
Oh. So this is a weakness question. But seriously challenge the Clover's first theory. It is now being contested.
Where are you in the passage?
So I'm kind of trying to understand, taking as much as possible. So that could potentially be one, because if they found different tools in Siberia, that means that they probably didn't originate from Siberia. Ice Age lasted longer. So the Ice Age lasting longer, and previously thought, well, it would still end, so people would still have a chance to get through a discovery of a human settlement. C is also one, because it's 12,000 versus 13,000. Definitely not E, probably not D. I'm going to go with C.
So,
That's probably wrong.
the discovery of a human settlement in America dating to around 12,000. So, do you even know what the Clovis first theory is?
Yeah,
So that they were the first people who
yeah.
who did what?
A brief opportunity opened up to enter America, so they could just walk from Siberia to America.
So they're the first inhabitants of America.
Yeah.
Okay. Around 12,000 BC. Wait, so this is around 13,500 years ago. Wait.
Yes, so this would show that there's already people.
Yes. Okay, so when they did around 2,000, 13,500. That's 11,500 BC. Yes, that's right. C.
I'll do one last one maybe.
Yeah.
So you can do this.
Simon, Liam, Ian, Dylan, Eric. Make up the boy band slide. Doyle, Floyd, Hyde, Rush, and Shaw. Okay. My friend tells that no letter of the alphabet appears twice in the boys' full names. The sign of each word is different number of letters in the first name. Okay, the pen. Okay, alright. S, L, I, D, E. No letter of the alphabet appears twice in the full names. Okay, so let's see which ones Simon can be. Oh, no. I'll focus on Ian actually, because he's the main guy. Ian. IAN. Okay, so it can be anyone. And the surname of each one is a different number of letters on his first names. Okay, so Ian can be anyone, so I'm going to look at everyone else. So Simon. Okay, so someone can't be Shaw. So anyone else? Can't be Doyle or Floyd. Okay, we're narrowing things down. So Simon is H or R. So who's Liam? So Liam can't be Doyle or Floyd. Liam, and so I think Liam is Shaw, because it can't be Hyde or Rush as well, because that's a different number of letters. Who's D? Dylan. Rush or Shaw. So you have to be Rush. This is H. Okay, we're getting closer. Who's E? Eric. So you've got Rush, Hyde, Shaw. It can't be Doyle, so you're Floyd. That means that you are the last one, so you're Doyle.
So A.
So that's just a elimination question. Obviously, I mean, do you think the easiness sort of varies throughout the paper?
Yeah, it does fluctuate. It's not like it goes from easiest to hardest. You can encounter some difficult questions in the middle. So A, C.
Wait, C?
E.
Wait, did we take C?
Yeah, we took C.
Oh, yeah. ACC. What is all this? ACCTD?
D. C.
CAD.
A. Yep, we did well. Well, that's all the questions we'll be doing, but hopefully that a sample of questions allows you to see our thought process. You can see it's very methodical, and once you practice a lot, it will become habitual to do this process.
And we did it quite quickly actually. So this has 35 questions, but normally it's 32. It's roughly a 1 mark per less than 2 minutes, and
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Good luck for section 1.